Welcome to the presentation on core and stability for special needs. My name is Alexandra Allred, and I have been in the fitness industry for about 20 years. But in the last couple of years, I've really focused on special needs because this is a group that's really been neglected in the fitness industry. One of the reasons is because the umbrella that covers special needs it's so wide and vast and diverse. So we've got special needs is anyone who is mentally or physically disabled. It could be obesity, it could be high blood pressure, it could be arthritis, senior citizens, and more. But today I really want to focus on the groups who I've been working with the most. And really, this is a group that really needs to focus on core and stability. So one of the first questions that I always address with people is balance really that important? Absolutely. Because make no mistake, the special needs population we're talking about, this is a huge issue, falling, not having control of their body. So we really want to make sure that we engage and work the core and stability. And before anything else starts, we really should introduce balance as a fitness, wellness, health program. So one of the first things is we talk about is your core. Ask people what the core is, and they're going to tell you it's the abdominals. Maybe someone who knows a little bit more might add the obliques. In reality, your core is your entire being, the whole center of your body and all the muscles that go with. It's the superhighway to your body. And with the superhighway, your core, there are really two major muscles. There are the stabilizers and the movers. The stabilizers are the muscles that attach to your spine, and the movers are the muscles that support the stabilizers to help work with your body, help you have functional movement. So in doing that, we need to talk about what the definition of balance. The ability to stay upright and stay in control of the body, it seems very basic, but you'd be surprised how hard that is for a lot of people. And coordination is the ability to move two or more body parts to be able to have that functional movement that we're talking about. And in this case, practice really does make perfect. You want to be able to have better balance, and that's only going to come for a lot of people through practice. Who's most affected by imbalance? The groups that I really want to focus on today, and let me just say that we're following this presentation, we're going to have a few additional videos that will actually show you how to move with better functional movement, have better balance, practice that balance that we're talking about. Cerebral palsy, spastic, disconnected, ataxic, those are the main ones that we see we're working with, and they're both hyper and hypotonic. Hypotonic is that rag-like appearance, very loose muscles, appearing to be very flexible. We see that with Down syndrome a lot. And hypertonic, we see that in cerebral palsy as well as autism, and they're very tight, rigid muscles. And a lot of times you'll see, particularly with cerebral palsy, but you'll see people who appear to have difficulty walking, even need assistance in walking and moving around, is because a lot of times they are so rigid, and we have to work on the flexibility. But like hypotonic, the loose muscles, whether it's working on flexibility or increasing muscle density, it's got to follow working the core and having balance and stability that we're working with. The senior citizens, and we're going to talk about this in the next couple of slides, is we've got the joints and the bad neighbors. You know all the other issues that come with aging; they're just natural. But with the joints and the joints and bad neighbors, this is a huge problem for our seniors. So, what is our future, and why does it matter? Well, our future in regards to the seniors is that by the year 2030. 72 million Americans will be over the age of 65. And right now, the 38 million that we have right now who are over the age of 65, only 22% tell us that they are physically active. Falls and imbalance are the leading cause of injury among Americans over 65, according to the CDC. We all have balance issues, everybody. But when you add in extra components like the groups that I just identified, the imbalance becomes life-altering. And we talked about before, it does encompass your independence. But for this, what we're talking about is 20 to 40% of those who suffer a fall and have hip injury will die within a year. By the year 2020, according to the Centers of Medicare and Medicaid, we're looking at upward in terms of health care, rehabilitation, living facilities, education and training, about $44 billion. Beyond the, and I know it's huge. And so when we were talking before about how does this impact us, core instability is not just an individual, but this is a societal issue. And we really need to work with these special needs groups for their independence, but also for security to all the families who are affected. There are 50 million Americans who deal with in some way physical or developmental disabilities. And this has direct impact on their lifestyle, their finances, and family. So but going back to beyond just the falls, we talked about the bad neighbors. When you have any kind of issues, and I used a picture of scoliosis, you can't ignore scoliosis or bad knee or hip issues. Why? Because when you have those bad neighbors, you have an issue that's going on that is impeding your functional movement, this begins to affect other parts of your body. That's when we talk about your good neighbors and your bad neighbors. That's what we're talking about. So, proprioception, you know it, you may not know the word. Proprioception is the body's ability to interpret the information where your body's position in space. So every time you step, the movements that you make, your inner ear, this occurs when you stand up, you sit down, you get in your car, you turn around, you go downstairs. This is how you interpret the space around you. And for those who have physical or developmental disabilities, this is a really big deal. So this is where the practice comes in. When we work on these movements that you can have, it will help you diminish the possibilities of injury and help independence. So what's coming up? Well, the first thing is breathe. There's all kinds of exercises that we will show in the following videos on how to properly breathe, how to engage your core, how to stabilize yourself. And then from there, we're going to talk about balance, holds, movement, this strength, because with balance comes strength. You need to be able to propel yourself up. You need to be able to hold yourself up on one leg. You need to be able to engage the core to be able to hold your position. And then finally, agility and coordination. Agility and coordination, as we saw earlier with the sports definition, goes hand in hand with your balance, your stability, your independence to life. Finally, be a good neighbor. So we were talking about the bad neighbors, being a good neighbor to your body. And so when you have these other issues that are going on and we address them and we work the core and we work stability, we work balance, with that comes better confidence, a happier, healthier lifestyle, and that independence we were talking about. So thank you very much, and we'll be showing you more videos on how to do these things. Thank you very much.